Mr. Speaker, in my time in Frankfort, we have never had an opportunity such as this to make this type of investment into the Commonwealth of Kentucky. The key to investing in our Commonwealth, however, is ensuring that our fiscal house is in order. How do we ensure that our fiscal house is in order? Mr. Speaker, we do it this way, just the same way as households. We ensure our house is in order. When we have extra money, we save, we pay down debt, and we make investments. Households across the Commonwealth that don't have, will not have, and we will not either have a fiscal, sound, solid foundation if we add new expenses in times of prosperity that will continue to cost more and that we will have to pay for in times of downturn. This House will have, I am convinced, will continue to have a strong fiscal foundation without recklessly spending the taxpayers' hard-earned money. Mr. Speaker, just like households across the Commonwealth, this House is committed, and in this House Bill 1, to saving, paying down debt, and investing in the Commonwealth's future. House Bill 1 is a one-time money spending of one-time expenses with one-time money, paying down our inherited unfunded liability in our pension systems. It's key to ensuring this Commonwealth House will remain in order. Mr. Speaker, I am so proud of the gentleman from Todd for his work on this and the former gentleman from LaRue for the absolute genius to separate this apart from the House Bill 6, the other budget, to make sure that we send a clear message that this is one-time money, one-time expenses, and they should not be recurring expenses in the budget. Mr. Speaker, the contents of this bill, we will invest $1.84 billion, $1.84 billion of the taxpayers' money in the following ways. $950 million to pay down unfunded liability above and beyond what we're already doing in House Bill 6. Nearly $1 billion to pay down unfunded liability. That's where we're paying off the debts. $500 million of that will go toward unfunded liability in the teachers' retirement systems. $300 million will go toward unfunded liability in the Kentucky Employees Retirement System Non-Hazardous Pension Fund, and another $150 million to pay down unfunded liability in the Kentucky State Police Pension Fund. Based on predictions, this amount of money being dumped in to pay down those debts will get TRS and state police pension funds at 60% funded. KRS, non-HAS, should attain somewhere between 22 and 24% funding levels, still far from adequate, still far from where it needs to be, but making a huge dent and going from 12% funded in just a few years ago. House Bill 1 also invests $209.9 million in infrastructure development, $150 million in drinking and wastewater, which has already been discussed, and we fully anticipate more legislation to come forward to come and work on this and getting that money out the door. $15 million for short line railroad infrastructure within the Kentucky Rail Development Fund program, $15 million for industrial access safety program within the Kentucky Rail Development System, $18.5 million toward Riverport asset preservation funding. Mr. Speaker, Riverports are so critical to our infrastructure here in the Commonwealth. I often talk about our friends in the maritime industry and what they mean to our economy. This one-time investment where we typically put $500,000 a year toward river ports, will greatly move forward our 10 public river ports and help our businesses and our citizens get our products to market. We also spent $11.4 million to provide $200,000 grants to the 57 general aviation airports. House Bill 1 invests $175 million in economic development, $75 million which goes towards the Kentucky Product Development Initiative. Legislation created that initiative a few years ago by the gentleman from Bell. It has been a success. Local economic development entities are able to draw down this money and really change the trajectory of our individual communities. Also, that $100 million that we adopted in the committee sub that the governor specifically asked for helping close the deals with mega projects into what he calls the closer account. House Bill 1 also invests $450 million into our rural communities by supporting the economic development and infrastructure development that was created last year. Gentleman Graves, too, and gentleman from Todd worked on House Bill 9. We will now be able to take some of Kentucky's money to give to locals, to draw down the federal money, and have major return on investment. Finally, Mr. Speaker, House Bill 1 supports our law enforcement by giving $6.4 million to purchase lab equipment to the Kentucky State Police and do other necessary things for them. I know the gentleman from Perry, the gentleman from McGoffin, the gentleman from Ohio care deeply about this fine institution, as we all do, and we thank them for their service. Mr. Speaker, with that, I move you, sir, passage of House Bill 1 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1.